like a bird on a tree. I'm just sitting here, I got time, it's clear to see. From up here, the world seems small. We can sit together, it's so beautiful, you and me. Like a bird on a tree, I'm just sitting here, I got time, it's clear to see. From up here, the world seems small. We can sit together, it's so beautiful, you and me. We meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free. Sometimes you need to go and take a step back to see the truth around you. From a distance you can tell. You and me, we're meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free. You and me, meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free.
Hello, welcome to Stitches and Jacks, podcast number 4. Seems a while since I've been in front of the camera. I did Vlogtober and that I think went well for myself. I certainly learnt a lot and I had really positive comments about that, so thank you very much. I've also had an increase in subscribers, so thank you for that as well, and lots and lots of likes, so thank you. So as I say, welcome, and if it's your first time in joining me, you are especially welcome. My name is Karen, it's Stitches and Jacks. I'm Stitches and Jacks because I like to do lots of different crafts that involve stitching. It's mainly knitting and crocheting, sewing and quilting. I think that's probably enough, but yeah, we'll see how things pan out on my journey, and I'd obviously like to show you if I choose to do anything new. I have doubled in cross stitch, and I'm thinking of just picking that up again, and a little bit of hand sewing. So I live in the northwest of England. It's just myself and my husband here, and we have five Jack Russells. You just have to excuse me if I'm a little bit nervous. I always find this part of the podcast to start off just really difficult. I always feel as if I'm kind of telling the news. So yes. we live in, as I say, northwest of England. We're in tier 2, which means basically we can't go out. You can go out if you're working, you go to school, or things like your weekly shop, that kind of thing. So my husband's retired, so we're both at home. I normally do quilting. Go to a quilting group, really good quilting group, full of like lovely ladies. Unfortunately, can't do that. And I also belong to Girls Brigade, so at the moment we're not meeting for that either. So we're just at home. I am able to look after one of my grandchildren, the youngest one. His mum's gone back to work, so on a Thursday I have him, so that's my granny baby day. And at current times I am so grateful just to have that little bit of interaction and keep me going. Right, let me talk to you about what you can expect to see today. I just thought I would have a very quick roundup of projects that I had started, completed in October. Go through that. All the information will be down below in the message bar for the names of the projects that I've made. I've also got a finished knitted project and a new crochet project that I've finished. I think there will be some. I'm just having a look to see what I've got here. I'll have a look at my whips. Yeah, have a look at my whips, and also I've got a couple of projects that I would quite like to make, like my dream knitting. There might be a little bit of acquisitions, and then maybe a couple of share a bit of reading that I'm doing at the moment with you. I think that will be it. Right, let's start with projects that I have finished. And I think I'd mainly finished them towards the end of October, but a couple of them were blocking, so I don't think I actually showed you those. Let me just get my project bag out. So I've got the Good Vibe Shawls by Nadia. I'll put that on the screen so that you can see that. And this is the finished shawl. And funny enough, I have a blouse to match. This is absolutely beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So what did I learn? I learned how to do the tab to start off with, and I think that was the only thing. There's beautiful like eyelet details through there, if you can see those, and then the lace. So I think I'm really into a lace. I'm not very good at putting all of this on. I need to learn how to do this. But I think I'm in a mustardy phase at the moment. I used, let me just show you the yarn that I used. This is how much I've got left, and I used Kettle yarn, Islington. That was quite a good match. So I've used that, and I've also used it's all sock based fingering yarn, and this is by Pixie yarn, and it's called Three Friends. So I was thinking that I probably would need a hat for this. I'm just wondering how much of a brim I could get out of that. And then I've got a yarn by Mr. B's yarn. I think it's Stella. It's called Mr. B's yarn Stella Bella. So I'd quite like to make a hat in that. So I'll have a go. I'll dig that out and have a look, and I'll share that with you on my next. Sorry, I'm coming out short. I'll share that with you on my next podcast. I also made a cowl, my very first cowl, and it was a pattern by Lindsay from Stitch Create Love, Dance Like No One's Watching. So that was the cowl, and I've made this in West Green Lofts, and it's called Ballet Slippers, and it's absolutely beautiful, absolutely beautiful. It's so soft, so soft, and such a quick knit. The pattern is very detailed. It's a percentage system, and I knitted this in 4 days, five days. Really quick to to knit up. Because it was, you can either knit it double knitting, or if it's four ply fingering weight like this is, you could hold some. Do they call it fluff? I've got some Suri alpaca. So there was 100 grams skein of that from West Green Loft. No, I've taken the label out. So West Green Loft. So that's how much I've got of that. So I need to weigh that. This, I think I've got 47 grams left, and I've never used anything like that before, and that was from Hedgehog yarns, and that's their Suri alpaca. So I've just ordered myself a couple more skeins because I thought that would be something that I'll use in my stash if I want to hold things together. So that would be a really good Christmas present, a really quick quick gift. And then I made these. These are fingerless mittens, and they're by Elly Doyle. I've got a better picture for you than what I had previously, and I just think they looked really elegant. They're Aran, and I've still got to learn how to put them on. I love cable work, and again, these were a really quick knit as well. So they would make an excellent present. So I have a pair of those that I've made. So I'm very proud that I've made those. So they're finished. And again, that's how much yarn I've got. I think it was 100 gram skein. Let me just double check for you before I tell you. It is 100 gram skein. So yeah, that's how much I had. And I wouldn't say I'm a tight knitter. Medium? I don't think I'm really loose. And this is doable. This is the label, this is what I've used. So service was really good. They sent those really quickly. So I definitely want to make those again. They're a really good gift as well. So they will go into my file for that. And then we have, well, this was a mistake. I ordered a head format. So this is Maudie, and she's wearing my beautiful hat. And it's from, I've got a better picture. It's called the Lotus crown, and this is by Elly Doyle again. And I'm sure this is as of August. It was a paid for pattern. It was £3.50 in the UK. And this is a better picture for you to have a look at. So I just really loved that detail and the cables. So here it is on Maudie, and I'm really pleased with that, really pleased. I think it was quite nice. I was expecting a plain head, but as you can see, she came full makeup and full eyelashes. And what did I learn from this? I can knit a hat in the round. I was cabling in the round, so I learnt to read a chart but that had cables in. So there was a couple of points I just wasn't sure, but that was because I wasn't used to reading a cable chart, and that's my crown. So I've got that, and I've got my mittens now. So I need to find a cowl, or perhaps a little scarf or something to, just go around my neck. So I'm not sure what kind of colour to go for on that. So that's those. Oh, how could I forget my socks that I waffled on for. I think I was quite hard on myself when I was doing my blogs, because when you're talking and you're talking to camera, you're so enthusiastic, and I think especially when you are learning something new, or somebody has written a pattern. I just felt that all I was doing was showing you like these socks all the time, but what I had forgotten is it's as if I'm talking to my friends, and of course you're going to get your project out, and you're going to show them, and especially if you've learned something new. So when I sort of did have my wobble, sort of pulled myself back, and reflecting now on it, I think it was absolutely fine. You're not going to get a new project when people are blogging every day, like for a month, and part of it is to see that person's life, and to see that process. So I'm quite happy now, and they're beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And this yarn is Jemima Puddled Up by Mr. and Mrs. Rabbits, and I will definitely be buying some more of their yarn. So October for me was, funny enough, was all about knitting. The other thing that I made, and I will show you that, I will slot that in after I've just spoken about this, is I made a wreath. And it was something that I'd seen in a magazine about 3 years ago, and I thought I've seen all these beautiful projects on Instagram feeds of people's, pumpkins and garlands. I had it in the back of my mind, I'm just going to get it out. So I will show you that close. They are my makes. I just wanted to, just in case anybody hasn't seen them or they were new, got some new viewers. I thought my Vlogtober was enough, and it would be a good start to November, and then I could move on. Finished projects, works in progress. And I wanted to talk to you about my basket of socks. I pulled my pattern out, but now I'm not sure. It's the Lotus socks, they're the ones that I finished. So that's my screenshot. I don't know whether that picture is any better. One thing I've got to learn to do in my editing is put a put a photograph in that's on, perhaps I can take it off of Ravelry or take it off of the internet. So here are my socks, my Lola socks, my Strictly socks. So this is part of the raising funds for Bill's Bus, Gaynor's Son on Tales of Cuckoo Land, and there was a collaboration between Jules from So Sweet Violet and Lay Family Yarn. So they did a sock set which I think sold out really quickly. I was lucky enough to snag a sock set, and this is what I have left. So I haven't weighed this yet, and that's the, sorry, let me just, Jack Russell here. So Bronte was having a cuddle the other morning. Really lovely yarn to work with. So I would certainly recommend giving that yarn a try. Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And the stellina in it just makes it lovely. We are watching Strictly this year. We don't tend to watch it. I just get a bit fed up when everything's like samey, but we decided to watch it and it's just been brilliant, and I think it's really going to like lift people. It's going to be something to look forward to, and it was fun to to take part in this. These are a slightly smaller pair. I think is it 56. I've done the small size. I'm a size, well, I used to be a size 5. After I had that thing a few years ago, I think my feet have swollen slightly, so I could be sort of 5.5 to 6. But if I was having a sock on like a boot, I'd probably buy 6 now if I can't get 5.5. So I did a small, so it's 56 stitches, and these fit me beautifully. So I think that's what I need to do. I need to work on my socks a bit more in my sizing rather than just make a pair of socks. So get used to find a style that suits me, and then work on that, and different toes and heels. I think this is a is that a goatee? I don't know. I was going to say the heel, but the heel isn't actually labelled in the pattern. This is a pattern by Jules, from So Sweet Violet, really well written. I found that really easy. Did the gusset decreases. I think it's called a beanie. Yeah, it's definitely called a beanie toe. So a beanie toe and I think it's a Godet heel. So yeah, and the pattern was really easy, It's a 4-row pattern with a 4-row pattern, so it's quite easy to memorise, which is what Jules had said. So and I never speak about my needles, I think, because this is something I'm learning to look at. I was bought by my daughter, I'm not sure if it was last year or the year before, a pair of higher sharp needles. So I've used those, and I really liked these. And these are a 2.25, so I think that's what I need to knit my socks on, a 2.25. I think if I do them on a 2.5, they're going to be too loose. So very pleased with those. So that's my knitted finished objects. But I just wanted to show you some of the socks that I've knitted over the past year. You would have seen some of them. So at the moment, this is my basket that I have all my beautiful socks in. So at the moment I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and one on the needle, so 11. I was hoping to do 12. And these are a mixture of socks for myself and sort of socks for other people. So these are my beautiful socks. So these are a bigger size, this is 64. So really liked those. Right, let's have a look, because I've got my patterns. So this is earlier in, I'll start. This is what I'd started them at Christmas, but then I cast them off and I don't know quite what I was doing. I think these are double knitting. I think I went to a workshop and you're making a scarf, I think, for a crocheted snowman. So you just had a little bit, but you're allowed to take the whole ball. So it sat for ages, and I thought, what do I do with that? So I came up with a pair of like Christmas socks, but I didn't finish them till January. And I have no idea what I did there, but as you can see, those toes are tiny, but they go on. I think they're double knitting this yarn, and it's just, if I remember rightly, it's like King Cowl Christmas, King Cowl glitter or something. So they'll be okay for festive. So that was my first pair for this year, and then I wanted to knit just plain socks. And my daughter bought me some yarn. I think this was a Hobbycraft yarn. These are called Wish You Were Here socks. So I'll put on my notes whether there is a free pattern or paid for. So I literally just made them plain. I was looking for a bit of a better fit, and I think now, after knitting so many socks this year, I kind of need to use the same kind of yarn, I think, and then I'll get an idea. But these are kind of like bed socks, so they're really nice and cosy on your feet. And then I wanted to have a go at self-striping, and I used exactly the same pattern, and they are just lovely. I don't know if you've used self-striping for your socks. It's so addictive, and for some bizarre reason they seem to knit up really quick. I'm a DPN girl, and I like 2 pairs on the needle at the same time. I cast on the cuff, and then I'll cast on the other cuff. So that's a heel flap and gusset, which is what I learnt to do with a Kitchener toe, I think. Yeah, a Kitchener toe. So they were lovely, and these are by this yarn is London House yarn. So this was a Valentine's present. So yeah, that was, I finished off in January. My birthday's in January, so that was a birthday present. The yarn was a Valentine's present from my husband. I just ordered it, he paid for it, and I just said thank you. So that was that pattern. And then I'd heard so much about these blueberry waffle socks by Sandy Turner, and these were a free pattern. I've gone and printed it off I printed it off in black and white, I printed it off in colour, but I still don't think it's I don't know how much you're going to be able to see of that. I can't really see very much. And again, this is a Hobbycraft yarn. Well, there is a story behind this, and it's something like they were selling yarn that were for socks that was caked up in 2 50-gram balls, but you would obviously buy them as a complete, so that you would get a sock out of each, so that they should be identical when you knit them. Identical in as a colour, because it's a fade. So my daughter bought these as well. So I think I've done a good job on those. So they're small as well. So they're all kind of different sizes. I think that the blueberry waffle, I think it took me a while. I keep forgetting. I think there's a mistake there, but I wasn't going to go back and undo that. I think I'd had enough of that by that time. Then I think I made those. Not quite sure when I made these, and these are the German yarn by Arnie and Carlos have made it. Oh, excuse me. So this is a German yarn by Arnie and Carlos had made a collaboration with them. I'll put the details along the screen, and then you'll be able to see them. Save me just waffling. And the idea was that you came up with a kind of Fair Isle pattern, and they would match. But as you can see, mine didn't, and the reason mine didn't is because I knitted one, which I think was this one, and then I got to the, you start off, you get the ball, there's a piece of yellow yarn, and you pull that as your marker until you get to where the dye is, in this case navy, and then you knit on, finish your sock to whatever length, and then keep pulling it, and then you will come to another piece of yellow yarn. You pull that out and start at the same length as you did your first sock for your second sock, and you should be able to start. But I've got a feeling, I think I knitted one of these and it wasn't long enough, so I undid it. They're both the same size, but I think I wound it the other way, and that is the reason why, I think. So it's still a mystery. But these are for my husband. Size 12 feet. I'm a lucky girl. So they're for him. Then my next socks were the famous Hermione's Everyday Socks, and again this is a free pattern. So I knitted these, and these are by the lovely Amy at Stranded Dye Works, and this was her first run of It's Not My Cat. When she first moved into a house, she lives in Scotland, and she has this cat who I don't know whether he lives down the road or like next door to her, but often like comes in and just sort of keeps her company. And so I knitted these, and these, it's beautiful. So I think they were these were my first pair of indie dye. The yarn is beautiful, so I have bought some more skeins, as you would need to, of Amy's yarn, and fabulous, really good knits. So I enjoyed those. So yeah, I think those you won't have seen, and these you will have done. These are my daisy socks, and these are by Debbie Ford. I think was it a paid for pattern? I think this is probably a paid for pattern. This one, normally right on the back. I feel since I've started podcasting, I'm not so good at keeping my notes and things, so I need to address that. So this was knit with Mr. B's yarn, and it's absolutely beautiful. I've got my socks, my sock lockers. Let me just so you can see the pattern. I need to dig my other ones out. I've got them off a magazine, so they're not as good. That was supposed to be one of my purchases when I went to Yarndale this year. Supposed to be one of my purchases when I went to Yarndale this year. I'm trying to make sure, I'm about to say that I talk properly, not that I talk properly, that I am projecting my voice. I speak very quietly. So these were the daisy socks, and this is Mr. B's yarn. And I cannot remember what the colourway is. I'll put that along the bottom of the screen as well, so that you can see that. And I must admit, I think I'm a little bit addicted to his yarn. I think it is his photography, the same as Mr. and Mrs. Rabbit. It's just breathtaking. So I thoroughly enjoyed making those. And then this is my other pair. And I don't know about you, but do you ever sort of see a photograph, like an Instagram, on Ravelry, or somebody's post, or in a magazine? And I'd seen these socks in this magazine here, and these are by Elly Doyle, and it's West Yorkshire Spinners, but it's raspberry trifle. So, and I was trying to be good. I did a big stock take in January of the yarn that I had, and then I'll be honest with you, I was a little bit intimidated by how much yarn I had. I brought everything together and had it in one place. I knew that I had a fair bit, but I didn't realise how much I had. So I mean, I've got a crate of sock yarn, and I thought I can't buy anything else, even though I really like those pink. But when I looked through, this is the Winwick Mums colourway, and again, I'm sorry, something's sticky on the table. I'll put this underneath on the screen, but they are beautiful and they fit perfect, and I think these are a smaller size of 56 as well. So I just thought that was a hair, and then it's the stuff that's coming out of the wool that's coming out of there. So I'm very pleased with the amount of sock knitting that I have done this year. I do feel that I have learnt some things. Let me have a drink. So I've gone from making a vanilla sock, I've attempted self-striping, I have done some pattern socks, I've done a full pattern sock. So I think what I would like to move on to, and I've also done a 2x2 rib. I've learned how to do a twisted rib. I can do a heel flap and gusset, and it's a go day heel. I don't think that's perfect. On Jules' pattern, she does say you can go and look at the video there, and I should have gone and looked at the video, but I was too busy watching the telly. So I'll have a look. And the go day heel. I followed the instructions. I think they are knitted correctly. I'm not sure whether I'm actually going to like it I like it like this, but when it's actually on, I don't know, perhaps it's the shape of my toes, it just feels a bit flappy over your other toes, not from your big toe. And I quite enjoy doing the Kitchener stitch, so I'll wait and see. The jury's out on that. Then I wanted to show you my knitted whips. So I'll start with my socks. Let me just check. And it has been on for a little while. And this is, so we were supposed to be going to Yarndale in September, but like so many other things, was cancelled, and they sent out, or they had online, a sock set. I don't think there's a pattern here. Well, there's a pattern, there's not a picture. Oh, that's annoying, sorry. But it is basically just a vanilla sock, stripy, and it was the West Yorkshire's signature 4-ply. I'm just seeing if, and it's called Hope, so quite appropriate. So that is a colourway. I think most of you will have seen that. So it'll be my second pair of stripy socks, and I was doing really well. I'm really pleased. I don't think my rib is as neat as it could have been, but I think the pattern says, that's it, the pattern says, yeah, to knit them on a 3mm needle. So I think the clue is in that rib. To me, that it does look really messy. I like these colours. I like the stripes, and I probably haven't touched those since the end of September, beginning of October. I think that's probably one sitting. That's two or three sittings doing that. And I was a bit like, okay, wasn't sure that was my cuff was too neat. I like that, and I like the texture. And then my daughter showed me hers. Excuse me for reaching over. My daughter showed me hers, and I can't remember what we did. I either treated her and she treated me, or we did it the other. One of us treated each other. So I said to her, "How are you getting on for your socks?" She's completed one sock in the past when we went to a workshop, and she's completed the second sock. I think she just needs to do a Kitchener. So she showed me what she's done. She's used exactly the same needles. I've not dropped her stitches. And I appreciate that all the ball bands will be slightly different. So that's her sock. Look at her cuff. How neat is that? So I was like, oh, they're lovely. And then I looked at mine. I think she is a slightly tighter knitter than me. And I was like, oh my word, that, I really don't like them. Don't like them. She said, oh, mum. And I've left them, but now seeing these again and sharing it with you, I'm going to undo these. And the reason I'm going to undo them is because I'm not that happy with that, and it means that I just won't wear them, or every time I look at them I'm thinking, oh, I just wish I'd stopped. So I'm going to undo them and I'm going to change my needle, and I think that's what it is. So I need to work on a needle. I'm all tangled up. I need to use the same size needle for my socks, which has got to be a 2.25. Oh right, okay. Do you know what? That was a menopausal moment. That's why my cup is different, because I had that in my bag and my daughter didn't. So, and now that I've seen hers, I quite like those. I think some had those as toes. Right, put my daughter's away. Keep all those on there. And I'm definitely going to undo it and knit it on a small needle. So hopefully you will see. I was thinking today, I haven't really got a car project. I don't go anywhere to, when you're just like, you have something on the go for waiting around. I don't go anywhere now to wait around. So that's that. So that's my 11th pair of socks. And then it isn't a whip because I haven't started it. Bear with me while I just reach down and get it. Right, back again. These are my lovely, well, will be when I've started. I've just got sidetracked. I wanted to join in the Hokey Lokey Telly autumn cast on, and these are the socks I wanted to do. The cables down the back, and I think I had put to one side the Jemima Puddle Duck colourway by Mr. and Mrs. Rabbit, but then, and as you know, I've used those on my flight of bumblebees, and then I saw this. My husband was literally cooking dinner, about to dish up, and I said to him, I've just got to go and have a look at this yarn. Something popped up on my feed, and we were watching Outlander, and this one, which is Claire's Red Dress, and this is by Mr. and Mrs. Rabbit. Absolutely beautiful. You see their label there. And this is it's a high twist merino sock yarn, 85% extra fine superwash merino, 15% nylon. So I put this in my basket. I put Jamie in my basket. It was Jamie's kilt, I think. I put that in my basket, and a vase of one's own, a blue vase, and it's beautiful blue. Which, now I'm saying that, I'm wondering if that might go with my hat. Might not be turquoisey enough, I think it's more of a blue, but I'll get that out. So I need to check the details with that. If not, if I can't enter these, I think I will put these away to the new year, because I still like to really make the pattern. So I have that, and then my knitted works in progress is here, and I was knitting on this furiously last night. I'll show you. It was in my dream knitting, I think, in my first or second podcast. So I'm obviously on the shawl, and this is Kira Cove, designed by Tammy Gore. and it's absolutely beautiful. It's a paid for pattern. I don't know if it has a schematic. No, it doesn't. But that's the shawl, and I had yarn earmarked for it, which I'm still happy to say that I have used, and it's Stranded Dye Works yarn, and it is the navy. It's called Deep Feelings, and the coloured yarn is Wash Your Hands. So I thought that would be very apt for this year. So I'm on my circular needle, and I'm hoping that this is just going to show up. So I'm on the navy at the moment, and it has the eyelets running through that. It's taken me a couple of evenings just to get that far, and then so I think I'm doing it the right way. I think mine is the navy is going to be the turquoise, and then the creamy colour that it's got through the pattern. I think I'm going to be using this Wash Your Hands. So I feel that my cake's getting better as well when I'm winding them up on my Swift. Right, my crochet. I have a finished object, and the finished object is the Rainbow Ripple blanket. Let's see through that picture. That is a design by Celeste Young. I think this is, oh, that's much better for you to be able to see. Can you see it there? These are in pastel colours. And I think there's many variations online. You can go and have a look. I know Bella Coco, she shows you how to start off a tutorial. She has a tutorial video. So a friend of mine her daughter has just had her second baby, but first boy. So this is a present for him. So I've knitted this from stash, which is good. And yes, I'm really pleased with it. It's something different. You can see. So yes, I'm really pleased. So that's I've made that in Surdar Snuggly double knitting, worsted. So this is, yeah, like a royal blue, and then a limey green. I really like using this yarn for a baby, and you start off really enthusiastically with these blankets because it grows really quickly, and then you get to about here, and then it starts to become a bit of a slog. But I'm really pleased with that. Something, yeah, with a different colour. So yeah, so I'm pleased with that. So that's what I'm knitting on. Just making sure I'm positioned properly, sorry. And my crochet dream knitting. I don't have a whip. I thought that I'd be able to whip something up last night, but that knitting was taking forever, so I haven't got anything, which is fine. So my crochet, dream crochet that I want to do, and again I've seen something online, and I'd hummed and hawed over it, and I've joined the Toft Doll Club, and I think you get something every 3 months. I think it's for a year. and I'd hummed and hard because I thought it was quite expensive. And then I think I had a post saying, oh, it's the last day, it's last, and I was like, oh, I just need to get it, I need to get it. So I'll show you what she is. And it's Emmeline Pankhurst, who was the suffragette, the leader of the suffragettes, and they actually formed in Manchester, which isn't too far from us, just over an hour's drive. So she is beautiful. I've got a better picture here for you. And they are the colours of, well, some of the colours of my bedroom. I've got like an aubergine grey bedroom, and I thought she just looked so sweet sitting on my bed. So this is the yarn that I have. That aubergine is lovely, and the cream, or skin, not cream is it? It's like skin colour for her body, and then the green for her hat, or is it black for her hat? Oh, I might have borrowed the black. What did I borrow the black for? Oh, I think when I made Benjamin his bunny. So, and for those that yes, have been watching for a little while, the bunny that I made him, he wasn't at all impressed. He just sort of look at it and just toss it over his shoulder, which was really funny. And my daughter got a little bit upset about it. So I said, it's fine. He's got a really lovely elephant. They call it Elly, little crocheted elephant, a Kath Kidson one that I think one of my son-in-law's aunts had bought for him, and it's lovely. So he has that, but he has taken to this bunny, and he has both of them, which is really, really sweet. Ellie's in one hand, and the little bunny, I think it's just called Bum Bum, is in the other. So that's my crochet project that I'd like to make. I have another doll that has arrived, and I think it arrived about a week, 2 weeks after I had that, and then today another doll has arrived. But I'm fine, they all get made when they get made. Right, incoming goodies. I don't think I've shared with you a purchase I made at the end of October, Yorkshire Yarn Fest. I had seen this on my feed, and I was determined to, well, to try and get them. I know, like, you see all these lovely yarns, and sometimes when you go, they've all gone. And it's West Green Loft yarn. I just really like her aesthetics. The label's really lovely, and this is the Little Women collection. So this is Amy, and it's all I'm just looking, it's all classic sock. It's 100 grams and it's 425 meters. Just trying to see. Doesn't actually say. So I'm just assuming, no, it doesn't actually say. That's just all the information that's on the label. Right, so that's Amy, which is just beautiful. So really, really lovely. So that's Amy. This one is Beth March. And again, really nice, really nice. I like all the browns, the coppery colours in that one. This one here is Jo March. I like sort of the plums and the blues. Really lovely, really, really lovely. And then this one here is Meg March. Again, I like the greens and the lilacs in there. And I have no idea what I'm going to make. So this is my method, or my excuse really, or my train of thought. So I bought the plain colours to go with them. So I have Mr. Bingley in the blue, which is really nice. I thought that might go with Amy March. Really lovely. And I have the not quite a mustard, is it called an antique gold colourway which is really lovely. Quite true to colour. And then I bought maple again, which was really nice. Was it to go with that one? Maybe, yeah, maybe to go with that with Beth. So lovely. Maybe. I think when Vicky was talking about a yarn, she was saying they were sort of good complements to go with those colours. I also bought bramble. Oh right, so bramble, maybe that would go with that one. With Joe's. So yeah, that would probably go quite nice with Joe's. So that would go with. So Mr. Bingley would go with Amy. And Meg and Antique Gold would go together nicely. And Maple and Beth March would go together. So I'm absolutely delighted with those. And I bought the Christmas colourway, the Christmas bauble, and this is 100 grams, 400 metres, and I think this is in, it doesn't actually say what it is. It's got to be 4-ply fingering weight. So that's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So I have those, so I'm really pleased with those. And I have just bought myself from Stranded Dye Works, I bought the gingerbread house, and I just really like those. So that might be a pair of socks. And then I have been lucky enough to be treated to 2 presents. I had a bit of a dip in October. My confidence just went. I am far too hard on myself. I have come to realise that. My daughter, my family, your family's always positive, aren't they? So you don't always tend to believe what they say. But I had a really lovely message, and this lady asked if she could send me a present. No, my word, just what she put in her message, it was lovely. So thank you. And I'm not going to say the lady's name because she is very, very shy. But I just want, and she'll know who I'm talking about. And I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart for your kind words and for thinking about me and for sending me something. Well, I really, really appreciate it. The fact that you just took time and trouble to say to me, oh, you know, put pen to paper, or text me rather. That was lovely, and I really, really appreciate it. And thank you so much for sending me a present. I'm not after anybody sending me anything. This isn't what this is about, but it's the fact of, in this community, I think, as makers, we're always, oh, I've made this, but look at this mistake, look at this make, oh, it's not very good. We're very good at that, and I'm probably at the front of the queue on that. But we're also so kind to each other. I would always big somebody up, and I mean it, because you know they've actually created something and it would be lovely, and I would encourage somebody, and this lady was so lovely to me, and she sent me this sock yarn, Mr. and Mrs. Rabbit's. It's a sock club, and it's the Bloomsbury artist. Do you know what, I was looking at this and I was thinking, no, you've got to rein it in, got to rein it in. So not only did she send me something really, really lovely, but she actually sent me something that I had my eye on. And so it's Mr. and Mrs. Rabbit, it's the Bloomsbury Artist Sock Club, and this is 75% merino and 25% nylon, and it's 425 metres and 100 grams skein, and it's just stunning. So that I will make something next year with it. It will probably be socks, but I am starting to also look at things a bit differently, that it might not just be for socks. Perhaps I could make a shawl or a hat. So I'm after some sock patterns and some little shawls maybe. And also she put in this beautiful children's sock. What's it called? Sock. Oh my word, I'm having a menopausal moment. The brain and the mouth are not working. What's it called? A rabbit sock. Something you put your socks on. Don't know. I'll put it underneath. I remember. But how beautiful is that? How beautiful is that? I was just so touched that she thought of me, and it was just so lovely. So yes, thank you very much. Thank you very much. And then I had some post, which I think was the next day. And I thought, that's weird. I haven't ordered anything. And I opened it, and it was this. And it's tea. And it's lovely, and it's from my daughter. Well, it's not from my daughter. It's from Benjamin, my youngest, who I look after. And he's put in the card to Grandma. He can't write, but he's obviously really intelligent. He's obviously dictated what he wanted to say. And he's put to Grandma, hope you'll enjoy taking some time to relax and enjoy these teas. Lots of love, Benjamin. And they're by this company who my daughter had seen on Little Drops of Wonderful. And she'd ordered me some, which was lovely. And there's a really funny quote on the back from Billy Connolly. Never trust a man who, when left alone in the room with a tea cosy, doesn't try it on. I think they leave it to your imagination where he's going to try it on. What part of his anatomy? It'll be his head, obviously. So I've got berry hibiscus, jasmine. Oh, I can't pronounce this. Is it rhubarb and orange, which I really like. Lemongrass and ginger. And then obviously breakfast tea on there, and Earl Grey, which I thought was such a lovely present. So that was really nice, really nice. Right, so that's what I've bought. I do have a confession to make. So I kind of put myself on a bit of a yarn band. And I ended up buying, I treated myself to a advent calendar, and then because I was on this yarn ban, I bought myself 2 more. And I thought, right, well that's it, I'm not going to put myself on a yarn ban, because when I'm on a yarn band I just break it. So I have got a couple of advent calendars. I don't think I've got 2, I think I've got 3, and I was only supposed to have 1, so I will share those with you at a later date. Dream knitting. Got a couple, or dream projects I should say. I've got a couple of projects. I've got a hat, it's called the Pimlico hat, and it's by Therese, is it Headland, and it's by Brixton Pearl, and it's a double knitting, a worsted hat. So I was thinking that to go with my shawl, I have that much left. If I hold this with some fluff, and I've also got like a mustardy speckle from Mr. B's Yarns, and it's the name of his dog, Stella Bella. I thought that might be a nice compliment to my shawl, so I would really like to have a go at that. And I'd like to have a go at making something for myself. So I have this cardigan here, and it's by Tin Can Knits, and it's called Lush, and it's a yoke cardigan, top down. So I think that I would like to have a go at making that, and I might be better making myself something top down. And then the other thing, I have got a crochet, well, I've got my doll, but I also wanted to have a go at this peekaboo. And there's so many lovely things in here. I think I quite like to go at the donkey. I think he looks really cute. So I just need to make up my mind of what yarn to use. It doesn't actually give you a yarn make. And I know my friend Jeanette at Crafty Clegs has just made the crocodile, and he is adorable. Or she's made a she crocodile, and adorable, absolutely adorable. So that's worth going and having a look on her feed. It's the end of the podcast. A bit of chat now. I just wanted to share a bit of reading with you. I was watching Sandy on the Lakeside, and she had this book. So I've been looking at this, and the reading for today, well, I'm not going to read all of it, you'll be pleased to hear. So for November the 17th, it says, discover the power of loving yourself. And I think sometimes we find that very difficult. I know that I do. I'll say something and then I'll take two steps back. I feel that I don't want to come across as like boastful, but if somebody else says they're good at something, I don't look at it in that way. So I need to start looking at myself from the same perspective. So the reading for today is discover the power of loving yourself. The first sentence is, sometimes it's hard to trust life with all its sudden twists, turns and storms, and we're certainly experiencing that at the moment. And then further down it says, keep loving yourself and taking care of yourself no matter what. Through the storms, the twists, the turns and the blocks. Take a moment, breathe deep, restore yourself to that sacred place of self-love and self-responsibility. Feel all your feelings. I just thought that was very apt for the time that we are finding ourselves living in. I think I'm a fairly positive person. I always try to find the silver lining in any kind of situation. But yes, it is difficult. I'm finding that I have times, I should say, not days, but times of I'm okay, and then I'll go down, and then I'll come back up again. November for us is, we have had another birthday, another lockdown birthday, and it's my eldest grandson. He turned 8. He's a bonfire baby. So for the very first time in his very short life, and we weren't able to be together. And we do normally have a big get together. My husband saves all the cardboard, whatever, anything that we can burn, and we will burn it on bonfire night. And we'll have a tea and cake and everything. But there was none of that this year. And I think October, he started burning everything. So it wasn't all over in one go. It was a matter over a period of like a week, burning a bit, depending on the weather. So we were able to go over. We drove over, and we looked through the window, and I'm not completely sure whether, I think we were fine because we were outside. We didn't go in. We didn't have any contact with them. We just spoke to them through the window, and that sort of seemed me feel, what's the right word, right expression, feel more comfortable with myself. Very young grandma when he arrived, which is part of the reason that I'm called grandma, and I just love it when he gives me my full title, grandma. I do love it, and I've loved interacting with them with FaceTime. I'm so thankful that we have that, and speaking to them on the phone. But I've gone from not looking after them 2 or 3 times a week to nothing. And while I understand the reasons why it has been difficult at times, so poignantly for his birthday, but I was able to open, so he was able to open his presents, and we were given a cup of tea in a paper cup that we could throw in the bin as we left. And it was lovely. We had that and we shared his cake. His cake was lit for him. My husband and I were standing outside just looking through the window, and it was lovely that we had a bit of time. So there's a little bit of footage I'm going to put on the end. We also bought Fred something which we don't tend to buy for the other one, but because we hadn't seen Fred, I'd buy them a little something when I go out, and some sweets and whatever. So we'd got some sweets for Fred and a book and a couple of t-shirts and a jacket, which he's made up once he saw the Percy Pig sweets. That's all he was interested in. And we quite like the book that had his name on. So that's given me a bit of comfort. And then the other thing that we've had this year, a couple of weeks ago, 10 days ago, was Remembrance Sunday. I'm very pleased that it was marked, in countries, not just ours, and there was some representation. I was very lucky, very, very lucky that I was able to find a poppy seller. I just happened to have gone to Tesco's, and the guys were there, and I was able to give them some money. And that's one of the little traditions that I seem to have taken on, is I tend to buy the boys like a poppy or like a pin on these, I think they're called slap bands or something, they put around their wrists. So I bought them, and I was able to put those in with Alfie's birthday present, which they were delighted with. And my daughter said there was no sentiment in with money this year for Poppy, so she was really grateful that he had them, because we feel it's important that he understands this, or both of them do, but that we'd also been able to give some money to the guy. And the guy was really funny, because I had a note, and he kept saying to me, I haven't got any change, I can't give you any change. I'm like, it's fine, just take it. And thank you for you and everybody who have given us the world as it is. So yeah, that was nice to be able to do that. And then Remembrance Sunday came round, and for the first time in like 20 years I wasn't in church, and it was a bittersweet service. When you sit and you remember all the lives and the atrocities that went on, and you give your thanks, and you think of the sacrifices that everybody made, no matter what side they were on, everybody made. So we did have the telly on, and just my husband and I just sat and we watched it, and it was really nice. The pair of us were able just to sit and share. My husband doesn't go to church, so excuse me, he doesn't normally share that side with me. We would just catch up later in the day, watch the headlines. So it was nice that we had that time, and I think it wasn't in a sombre mood, but I was just in the mood, I think, to be quiet and not move. So I did sort of spend the rest of the afternoon on the couch, which is unheard of for me to sit there for that length of time. But yeah, that was nice. On that note, I'll move on. I also wanted to share this. This was bought for me last year, so I'll just pick that up again. For those of you who don't know, I think it's called hygge, and it's a Danish word, and it's not so much a word, it's an expression of a way to live life a bit slower, to be more aware of what is around you, and to find the joy in the small things, in life, nature, crafting, just things like that. So this is something I'm enjoying reading, and I must admit, since we've been on sort of the lockdowns, we have been going out for walks. My husband and I are on a bit of a sort of trying to become more healthy. We're both overweight, and we've had a bit of a dip at the end of October, in the sense of, I think I've realised some things. I've realised that I comfort eat. When there was some stuff going on like in my daughter's life, and I suppose like any parent, doesn't matter how old your kids are, if you think somebody's being mean to them or being horrible, you just You want to go and fight their battles, but obviously you can't do that. I didn't realise that I comfort ate. I just thought I'd have a pack of biscuits and I was being naughty. So that's been a realisation. But then on the other hand, we have a takeaway once a month, and we have once a week. We had normally on a Saturday night, but for some reason we had it on a Thursday the other week. So I'd said to my husband we were having such and such for dinner on a Saturday, and he was like, fine, and we did. And I could not believe that we had changed that much. We would have just had a takeaway on a Saturday night, so that's huge for us. But it's all small steps, So we're enjoying walking, we're enjoying going out, and taking notice of our surroundings around us. We really love trees and mountains. Not there's many mountains around here. If it's a very clear day, we can just make out like the outline of the cliffs in Wales, but literally it's just the outline. And then I've got back into my cooking, whereas I think on the first podcast I said to you I wasn't really into it. I enjoy a bake. There's a little bit of footage there as well. So I picked up a new cookbook. We've been looking through like the healthy cookbooks, but we were go to Aldi, do a food shop, and then next door to Aldi is a shop called Booths. So for those of you that live in the UK, it's very similar to a Marks and Spencer's, but it's a northern chain, and it is lovely. If you want like spices or baking things, they just have really lovely produce, really lovely produce. And I had this book here, and the reason I bought it is because it's from an Afghan kitchen, and it was just that colour of that book, that photography, and just beautiful. I haven't cooked anything yet. I do enjoy looking through cookery books. I do like to have a cookery book where I can perhaps see what a finished article is supposed to be like. And let me just see. I don't want to look at that. Look at that. I always remember we were in Egypt about 12 years ago. We did a cruise on the Nile with the kids, and we went on a camel ride, and we were taken to the guy's house that had arranged this camel ride. He took us into his home, and it was just so different going into an Egyptian home, and they brought out mint tea, and it's so much more of a ceremony, and we did have something to eat, like a little sweet cake. Beautiful. Look at this. So I will thoroughly enjoy reading through that. And I've got a couple more things I just wanted to show you, only because I think they're really cute. You might not like them. One of my goals is I would like to have a few more house plants, and I need to learn how to look after them. So I was having a search online, and I do like to try and support small businesses that are just starting up, especially female businesses. I'd like to empower women, and I found these online. I just want to show you. Obviously the little pot rests, and you put them underneath. So I obviously had to get the Jack Russells. So they're so cute. So I bought those, and then I've got a thing for hares as well. Look at that. How gorgeous is he? Really gorgeous. So I've got different ones. They're a set of 3, but you can either have all the same or have different ones. They're just so cute, so cute. So I'll put a picture in of those. These are from a company that is based in Devon. So it's called Potty Feet, and I'll put the details for that as well. So I thought, well, Devon and Cornwall, they've been hit really badly, with not having a tourist trade. So to give any region a bit more help would be good. It says also that they donate 10% of their profit goes to good causes, helping impoverished communities to get back on their feet. So I thought that was a really good gift. in many ways. I obviously will enjoy looking at them. I've given an area, you know, a bit more business, and they also give back to the community. And I think that is all. I'm just having a look around just to double check. So I think that's all for this time. I'm planning to do Vlogmas. I have been asked, and that was really nice as well to be asked. So yes, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 3 or 4 days and put that together. My editing skills, I think, are improving. I'm a lot more comfortable with using the software now. So that's what I'm planning to do. So it might be like a video of about half an hour, 40 minutes. It's the upload time. It seems to take forever, but I don't think I'm the only one. So I'm planning to do that, and then what I would like to do is I'm not going to do a podcast. Yeah, probably I'm going to do a podcast for December, but I'm aiming to put one up between Christmas and New Year, and I would like to show you the Christmas gifts that I've made. At the moment, I've made 2. So that will be nice to share that with you. So I will look to do that, and then start again in January. So I would just like to say to you, thank you for watching. If you liked my podcast, give me a like. If you would like to see more, please subscribe. And if you did enjoy it, recommend me to somebody else. That would be really nice, and I would be really appreciative of that. I like it when my friends tell me of a video that they've just found, or if I ask for a recommendation, you know, they will be able to give me 3 or 4. Some I'll have heard of, and some I won't, and that's lovely to find somebody new. So yes, that would be lovely. And I think that's about it for today. So I look forward to seeing you back in December for Vlogmas. Hopefully we will be out of lockdown. I'm not 100% convinced, but what will be. We've started to make plans as a family, in the sense of we're all going to be separate. I think as I have a bubble with my daughter, I might be allowed to have her here to have a meal. But we've said as a family we should all be separate. It's not fair that we have one child home and the others are out. Everybody is with somebody. Nobody's on their own. So that would, obviously things will be different then. So yes. So stay safe. Wash your hands. Wear your mask, and stay 2 meters apart, or 1 meter if you can't. Get a test. And the good news is, well, I told you I'd nearly finished. I remembered something else. But the good news is that as of today, we had 1 vaccine that was 90% last week that was announced, and as of yesterday, another vaccine of 95% safe. They've obviously still got a long way to go, and it's going to take us a long while to come out of this. But at least we have some positive news, and that's what I'm thinking. And I'm very thankful, very grateful for the people that have worked on these vaccines, and the people that have tested these vaccines and are still to be tested. So yeah, so hopefully by Vlogmas we will even have more happy news. So stay safe, my lovelies. Enjoy your crafting time, enjoy your life and all that it entails, and I wish you good health and happiness and peace, and look forward to seeing you soon. So thank you for watching.
bird on a tree. I'm just sitting here. I got time, it's clear to see. From up here, the world seems small. We can sit together. It's so beautiful, you and me. We meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free. Sometimes you need to go and take a step back to see the truth around you. From a distance you can tell. You and me were meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free. You and me, meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free.
Making chocolate brownies today. I'm allowed to meet up with one other person as long as we're outside and we keep social distance. So I'm going to meet my youngest daughter and I'm making some brownies so she can give them to the boys. I'm quite excited about that.
bird on a tree. I'm just sitting here. I got time, it's clear to see. From up here, the world seems small. We can sit together. It's so beautiful, you and me. We meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free. Take a step back to see the truth around you. From a distance you can tell